eating ice cream out of the container.
I eat little babies' ice cream.
Hello friends, and welcome back to RedX, your source for the freshest daily Rever parts 8, 9, and 10. And from what I understand, it still isn't over, even after these 3 parts, which is just totally amazing. User Bright Rice, thank you so much for sharing this with us. I know it is huge on this channel. People seem super hungry for it, myself included. I can't resist. So let's get some warnings and disclaimers and plugs out of the way, and then we could jump into these stories. It's gonna be like a new thing. Did you like that? I hope you liked that. So let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with as we jump into these stories. Wheezybeard Part 8. It's a Neckbeard Christmas. Oh snap, we missed aligning the timelines by a little bit, but that's okay. We're just gonna pretend that it's still Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through our flat, our Neckbeard was snoring because he's so fat. His fedora was hung on the hat stand with care, all worn out and stained from his long greasy hair. Your OP was nestled all snug in her bed, thinking his snoring could wake up the dead. Good grandma in her nightgown tucked in for the night, and scum at the bar, not a suitor in sight. I love this so much. Holy God. So now, dear readers, here comes part 8, a story of Christmas with a neckbeard I hate. Hope you guys like the intro. Oh God, like doesn't cover it, OP. That is the best thing I've ever read. Oh, Christmas has never been a big event for me. As a kid, I kind of hated Christmas, as my parents would never dip into their drug money for gifts. This year, however, would be different. While taking care of Grandma one day, we started a conversation on Christmas, where I was going, what were my plans. Angel was going to her in-laws, so I didn't have any plans. Grandma was excited that I was staying with them, and instantly wanted to have a girls' shopping spree to get me into the Christmas spirit, and to secretly get an idea of the things that I wanted. I never had a Christmas tree, a photo with Santa, a drive looking at Christmas lights, none of it. So Grandma was determined to make this a special Christmas for me. God, she's so cool, man. I'm so sorry you didn't have any of those things, OP. You definitely do deserve the best, and I hope things are turning around in your adult life at least. We must have come home with half a carload of stuff. She was planning on cooking up a storm, having neighbors come by, and Wheezybeard could play Santa and give out lollies. Wheezybeard was surprisingly festive. By that, I mean all his sleazy pickup lines had a Christmas theme. Oh, joy.
Can I take a picture of you? I want to show Santa what I want for Christmas. Instead of going down the chimney this year, I'm going to go down on you.
He had a million of these, and followed each with a wheezy laugh that sounded like a teapot whistle. That's pretty good. Thank God I smoke. Bastard hung mistletoe everywhere, although it was not fast enough to catch me. A few days before Christmas, Grandma held a party for the neighborhood. She decorated the yard with all kinds of signs and lights. She had me at the grill handing out sausage sandwiches and burgers. Oh, yum. She also had all types of food on the table, from pasta to salad. Wheezybeard barely fit into his Santa costume and complained about
how tight the suit was.
I watched as all the neighbors tried to help lift him into the truck. In the 5 minutes it took for all of them to get into their car seats and drive down the road for the kids to see Santa, the fat pig had already eaten half of the lollies. Kids got 1 or 2 lollies each, and Wheezybeard just waved, telling them
to be good boys and girls, or else they wouldn't get anything else.
Feeling bad, Grandma got out some more lollies, stuck them to a few dads' shirts, and got the kids to chase the dads around. It was all fun and games until Scum got drunk. She only had 1 or 2 drinks, and she decided that she loved all the great dads, and went and flirted with each of them. Oh, what a pleasure. Now I'll name one of the dads Brian. He was our next door neighbor. He had just, unfortunately, lost his wife to breast cancer. He had a cute, shy daughter named Lily. Now, Lily had eaten so much food, run around, and then eaten more food, so as you can imagine, she was feeling very sick. Lily told her dad that she didn't feel too well, so Brian took his daughter inside Grandma's to the big bathroom. Scum followed them inside. Lily was throwing up in the toilet, and as her father went into the bathroom to comfort her, Scum locked the door behind him. Scum tried seducing him, but his attention was on his sick, now scared daughter. Way to pick your moment, idiot. He demanded that she move so he could take his daughter home. Scum tried wrapping her arms around him, mistletoe in hand. Brian shoved her out of the way and scooped up Lily and ran for the backyard, yelling for Grandma to get her daughter away from them. What a mess. Neighboring mother shielded Brian and Lily from a now wild Scum. While men tried wrestling her to the ground, she bellowed out for Brian to save her! But he was being escorted back home with a crying little girl on his shoulder. After that, the police came by and took Scum, screaming and kicking. The police threatened to taser her if she didn't stop trying to bite them. Grandma was terribly embarrassed, of course, and quite loudly apologized for her daughter's behavior, announcing that she had asked Scum to start looking for other houses to stay in the previous day. She was giving her until the Christmas break was over to organize somewhere else to stay. She thought that this was an act of desperation on Scum's part, but it was still inexcusable. The party ended not long after that, with Grandma thanking everyone for coming and apologizing for her daughter. Afterwards, Grandma went over to the police station to have a private word with her daughter. The next day, Grandma and I went next door, profusely apologizing for Scum's behavior, giving Lily some lovely Barbies and jewelry for Christmas. Brian told us that he wasn't angry at us, but he would not go to another party that Scum was at. Grandma shocked me with what she said next. She said she was going to file a restraining order against Scum so she wouldn't be coming anywhere near us. Grandma had tried and tried with Scum. Talking with her at the police station had only strengthened Grandma's decision not to have her daughter be in her life. Scum would be allowed on the premises the next day after being released to pack up her belongings and say goodbye to her son. He was free to see her whenever he wanted, but he would never travel to go see her. After she left, I noticed some of my things were missing, including my butterfly necklace that Grandma had given me for my birthday. Grandma called Scum to demand for her to return my necklace. Too late. She was gone and had sold it at a pawn shop. Oh my God. She said,
"It was unfair Grandma would buy something like that for me and not her."
She wouldn't tell us where she pawned it either. I was so angry at Scum. I could not believe that she'd do something so spiteful to me. I think Scum knew it would also hurt Grandma, because Grandma apologized for Scum and told me that I'm her daughter now. Aww. She would not let Scum hurt me again. Christmas Day went much better. Wheezybeard was ecstatic over everything Grandma and I had got for him. We got him anime, a new fedora, more of an excuse to throw away his old one, and some fingerless gloves. Glorious. Wheezybeard got me a gag gift of candy underwear. Haha. Hilarious, Wheezybeard. He did have a nice present for me, though, and when we got home, I saw that he had taken a few of his waifu's pictures down and hung up a nice framed beach picture for me. Grandma gave me all new clothes, some Christmas ornaments to start my own tree one day, and a beautiful necklace that she'd gotten off her grandmother. An heirloom I was going to give Scum, but you're more of a daughter than she is, and I know you'll actually treasure it. Oh, Grandma, I love her more every story, dang. I teared up and thanked her for such a thoughtful gift. I bought Grandma a new massage chair, which she loved and always sat in. Hopefully, you enjoyed this little Christmas memory. Thank you, and I wish you all the best. Man, OP is so cool. Grandma's so cool. If you could get Wheezybeard out of the picture as well as Scum, then this could be like the most wholesome post series ever made. I just love the interaction between these two women. It makes me happy. But like OP said in the previous videos, it's probably going to get dark pretty soon. If you haven't watched the previous videos, go ahead. The links always are in the descriptions. I'm very good about that these days. Wheezybeard, of course, is always up to his shenanigans. Like, really? You're going to get some edible underwear? What is wrong with you, dude? You think OP's ever going to just like give in and be like, okay, you've ground me down enough. I guess we're in a relationship now. That is not how it works at all. I had a comment recently that said, it's probably 90s movies that are to blame, that have this guy like endlessly chasing this girl until eventually she says yes. And that's not how it works in the real world. You get your shot. If she says no, go shoot your shot somewhere else, bro. It's not that big a deal. There's plenty of fish in the sea, that's all I'm saying. You're gonna love a lot of people in this life, and not all of them are gonna love you back. And that's okay. It definitely seems like he's trying to be a better person, but at the end of the day, he's doing it for the wrong reasons, so good on OP for continuously kicking him to the curb, and I hope that will be a theme throughout all of these stories. And of course, we will continue with the next story right now. Wheezybeard Part 9, The Date. Hey guys, back again with another part. Just Wheezybeard and I, with Grandma lightly sprinkled in. Oh, always need them Grandma sprinkles. So after Christmas, of course, is New Year's. I had a guy over to start the new year with a bang. Hey, get it, girl. A while after the countdown, the guy left to go to some other parties, and I decided to grab an ice block. Wheezybeard was in his bed, crying. I tried walking faster, but too late.
OP, please come here.
Fuck. Here we go. I rounded the corner to see this man cuddling with his waifu pillow, eating ice cream out of the container. Oh no. If this doesn't scream relationship issues, I don't know what does. Now look, I'm pretty sure everyone has been there at some point or another. I can empathize with him. It sucks when you don't feel like you're good enough. New Year's Eve for some people, I guess. What's wrong? I asked.
No one wants to be with me. I don't know where I keep going wrong. I'm a flirty guy, so I can let women know that I like them. I have interests, and I'm a gentleman.
You can just as easily translate those last 2 points into, I love anime and sexually harass people. A gentleman that does not make. I don't want to kick the man while he's down, but I did bring up all those times that he's been, ungentlemanly, to put it delicately.
How can I let people know I'm interested without hinting? I've tried showing no interest, but that doesn't work either.
He tells me. Beats me. Each girl is different. You just gotta have confidence in yourself and present all of your good qualities. I say that at this point because mostly I just want to give him an ego boost so I can go to bed.
You're right. I could go on dates and tell them all the great things about me.
He smiles. That'll be a short date, I think. But before I could leave, he grabs my knee.
OP, I need to ask a favor. Could you please go on a date with me and see if I'm doing things right? I promise it'll be fun.
Christ almighty. Why did I not just go to sleep? Don't say yes, OP. You open that can of worms. Don't say yes. I know she probably says yes because of the title and because she's a really nice person. So, feeling like if I say no, I'm going to be stuck here forever, I agree to one hangout with a friend. Emphasis on friend. We weren't even that, but at this point, I just wanted to go to sleep. The next day, bright and fucking early, Wheezybeard knocked on my door. I'm not a morning person. I need a shower before I'm truly awake, so I walk to the door in a daze. What's up, Wheezybeard? You know my brain doesn't kick in until I've had my shower.
I'm just so excited for our date today. What did you want to go and do?
He's remembered. Oh, fuck. Why did I have to do this on my day off? Why, God, why? The deal just gets suckier and suckier by the minute. We decide to go bowling and have lunch afterwards. I go over and tell Grandma about the plans, and she tells me, "You're a saint. Don't be afraid to hurt his feelings. He needs to learn how to talk to girls." She slips me $100 in case he doesn't pay, and wishes me luck. Thanks. I know I'm going to need it. At least it's an afternoon date. Like, how cringe could it be? Famous last words. So anyways, Wheezybeard drives us to the bowling alley. Now, he hasn't got the normal neckbeard mobile. Shockingly, his car was one of the things that he was pretty good at keeping clean. It wasn't like showroom clean, but it wasn't too bad. He'd cleaned up to a pretty good standard, although his stink was still pretty bad, so I rolled down the windows a little. He had a shower, which earned him points, and he had driven to Macca's first to grab a coffee for me. That was a strong start. If only he could keep up the momentum. I decided to wear some ripped jeans, a nice top. I would have worn heels, but we were going bowling, so I decided on my superstars. We got to the bowling alley, and there was a line. He complained for a bit about the wait, but I tried changing the subject to if he had bowled before.
Yeah, I was a champion bowler as a kid. I have trophies at home.
They were participation trophies. Probably not good to lie about that to a woman who lives with you. Once we were in our lane, he was up first, but he looked confused.
Where's the fence?
Oh no. Bumper bowling! I'm racking my brains for what fence he could be talking about. He went back to the counter, pushed in front, and asked
where their fence was.
After some confused glances, they figured out that he meant a guardrail to stop the ball from going into the trenches. With the guardrail up, this grown man then proceeds to use the little bowling ramp that kids use. I love it. Oh, it's so good. I'm a little embarrassed at this point that a grown man is using this stuff, but I decide as long as he's having fun, he beats me and I'm okay with that. Because he's using the ramp, of course. He brags in the car about
how much of a champion bowler he is, and how he's posted a picture on the Snapchat of his victory.
I guess this is a good esteem booster. He says,
we could go every week so I can practice.
No thanks, mate. I'm good. We then go to a Chinese restaurant, and after being seated, he becomes quite racist. Oh no. Calling everything on the menu
noodle language.
Like most people, I can't stand racism, so I tell him to cut it out. He then proceeds to squint and go all
Confucius on me.
The waitress does not look impressed, and I have no doubt that she is going to spit in our food. So, as the food comes out, he tucks in. I thought he was bad at home, but in our restaurant, he is worse. He doesn't wait for the food to cool down, so he's doing a loud sound as he eats. I've lost my appetite watching this. He finds my disgust hilarious and sprays food laughing. Such a disaster. And as I'm picking noodles off my shirt, he asks,
what things do you like about me?
There is no God. I'm racking my brains. I was telling you last night that you have to be the one to present your good qualities. I try and wave off this line of questioning.
Yeah, but I want to hear all the things that you like about me.
He puts his stupid smiley face in his hand. How this man doesn't get more dates sure is a mystery.
I'm dead sexy.
I'm saved by the waitress asking about our food, offering to put mine in the doggy bag. I am ready to go home, but
he wants to eat ice cream first.
The waitress looks at me with a look of, you poor thing. He's still waiting for an answer, so I tell him that I like that he was very open with his feelings, crying in front of me a lot. He reads into this and says,
I'm very open about my feelings, especially my feelings about you.
He tries to hold my face, but I sit back. He then waddles around to grab my face. I'm feeling really awkward in this moment. We meet eyes.
I love you, OP. I hope we live together forever.
Ugh. He goes in for a kiss, so I put my head down, and he does a long forehead kiss and strokes my face. Everyone is staring. Some top level cringe, dude. I'm again a deer in headlights. Satisfied, he smiles and goes and sits back down. As the shock wears off, I'm still unsure of how to proceed with our hangout. Guess what? It's getting long, so I'll do part 2 in the next part. I'll never stop my shoutouts to Red X, bless you Bright Rice, who has masterfully narrated my stories from the beginning. You give great feedback, and I wish I had a lot more stories, but the stories are numbered. Spoilers, the next story is extremely dark with sexual assault, so please, if you are sensitive, do not read or listen to the next part. Thank you so much for the shout out, but I do want you to know that it is not all about me, okay? Without these stories, I would have nothing to read. I would have nothing to look forward to, and I do look forward to these stories so much, and stories like this are exactly the reason why. Dude, he's using bumpers and like the little kiddie ramp. Bragging about the participation trophies that he has. Like, you can't make this stuff up. He is such a disaster. And then, of course, the confession of love and spitting noodles everywhere, kissing on the forehead. Man, I don't understand. I say without a doubt, OP, your writing is getting better. The descriptions are getting better. Just the humor in the story is striking such a home run. Oh, I'm sorry you had to have these experiences, but thank you so much for sharing them with me. I know the next part is probably going to get a little bit dark, you know. You can't bring somebody up without eventually letting them fall again. But I do thank you for the trigger warning. I mean, obviously I put a warning in the beginning of this video, but it always helps to know what we're in for the next story. So hopefully we got all them giggles out of our system. I know I did. This part killed me, dude. I love it so much. But let's prepare our minds and our bodies for it to get a little bit heavier in the next part. Wheezybeard Part 10. Our date continued. Big warning that I did write in my last story. This is the dark part of the story, and there is sexual assault. I will be writing some of the details of it because it is relevant. I will tell you all right now that I've been seeing many therapists, been on different drugs, and have suffered this kind of thing since I was very young, so I have managed to cope despite everything. Good for you, OP. Still seem like such a solid person despite the adversity. Admirable. To continue, Wheezybeard had just returned to his side of the table after a cringy confession of love and a sloppy noodle kiss on the forehead. I was trying to keep calm and explain to him that he was doing it wrong. I told him that this was an alright attempt at a date, but there were things that bothered me, including the little whatever the hell that was a few seconds ago. I went into detail about all the things that he had done wrong and why they had upset me. His childish need to cheat in his bowling, his racism, and his not understanding personal boundaries, and everything in between. Plus all the things he did prior to the date while we were still on the topic, trying to hint gently about what he was doing wrong and where he could improve. Thinking I was being as kind and gentle as possible, I was shocked as his face went red as a tomato and he started yelling at me in this small restaurant.
I've done nothing but try and be the guy you want. I follow instructions to win your heart. I protect you. I apologize and I give you flowers when I mess up. I told my mom about you. I give you compliments and constantly let you know why you'd be better off with me. But you turned me down every time. I actually got excited that you'd see me as a potential boyfriend on this date, but no. You want to play hard to get, even though you're a massive slut. You have men coming in and out of the house all the time, but say I come off as desperate? Fuck you, whore! I'm not the problem. You are!
And with that, he storms off. Classic nice guy right there. Make a note. If I weren't being stared at by the whole restaurant, I might have yelled back, but I was doing everything to hold back the tears of embarrassment. He had gone to his car, so I was left with the bill. Grandma must be a psychic. Oh, Grandma coming to the rescue all the time. I decide to sit in the back of the car in case he gets violent. I've never seen him so mad, so I decided to get some distance from him. As soon as I get in the car, he speeds off, and I just sit there and start crying with my head in my knees. After 10 minutes, I peek up with the tears still in my eyes. We've gone past our neighborhood, and he's driving us out further. Oh, crap. I ask him where we're going, and he says,
We need to talk.
I try telling him to take us home. I don't want to be in a private area with him this mad. He tells me,
Shut the fuck up!
and locks the doors. Shit, this is getting heavy, dude. There are no cars where we are, and he's now pulling up into an abandoned mill. Oh, God. I'm scared as he unlocks the doors, hops in the back with me, and locks the doors again. Warning! It gets dark here. Proceed with caution. Oh boy, deep breath, here we go. He moves in with me. My knees are still up with my arms around them.
I don't know why you play these mind games with me. I think I know what you want, though.
He says, touching my thigh.
You want to be dominated. You want a bad boy.
I push him away. Wheezybeard, just take me home. I don't want to be here. I'm pleading with him, but deep down, I know what's going to happen. And in my life, I feel I've survived because I'm able to completely zone out while stuff like this happens to me. So yes, he rapes me. I want it to be over as quickly as possible, so I go off to my happy place and I don't fight. He finishes inside me, and then after 5 minutes of silence, he tells me,
Get dressed, and if I speak to anyone about this, I'll regret it. We're going home now.
I don't remember the drive home. I don't remember getting in the house. I don't remember any sleep that night. Many will ask why I don't call the police, why I didn't fight, why I didn't wake up Nana and set her on to him. If you've not been assaulted, then I can't explain to you the fear that happens to you afterwards. The fear that he would tell them that I consented and that now I just regretted it. The fear that I would have to leave this house and be homeless, start all over again, which I had done in the past, and it led to being assaulted a lot while on the streets, with friends, or even in women's shelters. There was a fear that he would be found innocent and come after me. There was a fear that he would hurt someone that I loved. The worst part is the timing. Grandma had gone to her friends that night and had a car accident on her way home. She did not survive. Oh no! Jesus, man. When it fucking rains, it pours. God damn it, dude. A car T-boned her. According to the coroner, her neck had snapped. She'd broken her C1 and C2 vertebrae and severed her spinal cord, so she died instantly. No pain at all, which gives me comfort. Dude, I can't fucking hang with this. Man. We went from laughing to just like the entire fucking bottom dropped out. Holy hell. Wow. I moved in with my sister. There was no way I could stay in that house with him after that. I slipped into complete darkness and numbness. I had a miscarriage, which was due to a lack of progesterone. I'm not sure if it was my New Year's fling or Wheezybeards, but I don't know if I'd have been a fit mother at that time. I couldn't stand the chance. The thought of seeing Wheezybeard through a child that I love would have torn me apart. Next story, I'll talk about our meeting with the executor of Grandma's will. This story's not over yet, and I'm sorry for this heavy part of it. I tried to warn you. I hope you're all okay and aren't put off by this dark part. I promise that my life got better after this. I would never abandon you at this point, OP. You and me were going to stick through this until the end. We've had some highs, we've had some lows. This is the lowest low, but it was also preceded by the highest high. So I hope that maybe the final part 11 or 12, we'll get to put a nice bow on everything, and I'll be like, okay, great. I'm glad that OP is doing okay, you know? I know this must have been a difficult thing for you to write and just post on the internet for strangers to read, but I'm here to tell you that I definitely appreciate you opening up. You could have made this a one-off story about some weirdo, but you've really gone all in with this, and that's just amazing, you know? We've talked a little bit on Reddit, but if you want to talk to me some more about this, then I'd definitely be open to it. Not that I've had much experience in situations like this, but I can definitely offer you some words of encouragement. As far as Wheezybeard goes, I have lost all fucking sympathy for him. I seriously hope he goes to jail at some point. At the end of this story, I hope he has a heart attack or gets in a car crash of his own or just gets shot in the fucking head by a random mugger, you know? He's basically left irreparable scars on a young woman, all because he couldn't get his own rocks off, you know? That is disgusting. And then the cherry on top of the shit sundae, your support system ends up dying like basically the same day. Like, Oh my god. You have been tested, OP. And you've come out on top, obviously, because you're functional, you're here, you're writing this story. You seem like a lovely person when I talk to you in DMs, you know? So good on you. Continue down that path. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing. I'll be looking forward to the next part, as I usually do. Probably more than usual now, because we have to see how this wraps up. I hope it wasn't too heavy for anybody else. If it was, let me know in the comments. I'm always down there with some words of encouragement. If you did enjoy the video, I hope you like, comment, and or subscribe. There's a link swarm down in the description. I'm trying to shorten up this outro a little bit so you can see some patron names, but specifically, I would like to thank Lady Nix, Robert Waits, Pope Squid, Rebecca H, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, and Mark211. If anybody else would like to support, I definitely appreciate it. If you can't support monetarily right now, don't worry about it. I just appreciate you hanging out with me today. I know it was a heavy one, but come on back tomorrow. We'll have some more cringe, some more laughs. I do promise it. And even the Wheezybeard story, it is going to turn around. It's always darkest before the dawn. So always take care of yourselves out there, guys. And remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely, definitely deserve it. Particularly you, OP. Stay safe. I'll see you then. And until the next time, friends. Bye-bye.